Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to everybody on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify videos. We are live. It's Thursday. It's 6 p.m. Pacific. We are just regular, Manuel and George.
Regular today. Oh, correction. We're not doing Twitch tonight. I decided to try X just to
Oh, shit.
test it
Never
out.
mind. We're on X. Fuck Twitch.
But I'll restream Twitch tomorrow night. I'll throw it in on Friday night for Twitch. So we're not forgetting. I'm just gonna shift. I just want to try out X real quick. See how that.
You want to see if
looks.
anybody pays attention?
I just want to see the difference, and anyone on X who's actually watching, thank you. We don't usually stream to X, but we're gonna try it out, test it out, see what's going on.
I think somebody's doing a covert operation on X.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Don't.
Not really. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. Well, anyway, let me
Testing Elon.
Let me kick off Thirsty Thursday
With the
pastas.
Is that the 3-gallon drum?
Fuck yeah, it's the oil can of beers, buddy.
The BFC. If you are a Monster fan, you know that reference.
The BFC.
The big fucking can. I know what today is, so I don't expect a massive audience. But those that are here, thank you very much.
Talking about foosball?
No, I'm talking about preseason opener. Yes, today's the day. Kickoff. I know there's a Steeler fan in our chat that's watching the Packers Steelers.
I know this. Yeah, I know.
And our local
compete
boys,
with that bullshit. That's cool.
Our local boys have kicked off 3 minutes ago. There you go. So which is actually kind of cool because no one's going to pay attention to this conversation 100%, so we can go a little crazier.
That's true.
Satisfy the very people that said that we are below the line of awesome. So,
yes, we're substandard. Third stringers, bench riders.
Yes, yes. Yeah. And if you believe the comments that I read yesterday,
who said that? It was
Graham Allen said we were second.
That's
and
right.
third
Graham Allen said that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's some commenters that claimed we were below par. So,
really,
it's cool though. Hopefully, you're the ones watching.
I must have missed those comments.
Okay, we're gonna do a Strait of Hormuz update. We're gonna do a grocery store mom Donnie update to kick this off.
Grocery games, as I call it. Grocery games.
Oh yes, let's hit
Donnie's
our
grocery games.
Stinger. Time for some stingers. All right, let's get this going here.
Well, the battle over who controls the Strait of Hormuz is really entering a new phase now, with President Trump and Iran now trading demands for reparations, and Gulf energy producers also reportedly getting increasingly concerned now that this disruption could become a long-term reality. President Trump here insisting the United States, not Iran, now controls the strait, saying the U.S. Navy is determining which ships can pass through. Take a listen.
The only one that has control of the Strait of Hormuz right now is the United States Navy. We have a blockade that's been infallible. It's a steel wall. And we let people in that we want to let in, and those people come in. And they've been coming in and they're going out. So it's actually open now. We do not let them go into Iran. They're not admitted into the strait to go to Iran. But it's open for others. Now, a little bit complex because they will, on occasion, drop a mine, and we find the mines. You know, we've mine swept the entire strait, as you probably maybe heard, maybe you didn't hear. But
I'm sorry. I like how he does that. He does that shit all the time. He goes, maybe you heard, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Possibly, but we've been doing some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
he does that shit all the time.
It's Trump, man. Trump-hyperbole, as one of my friends calls it.
Is that what it is? Trump?
Yeah. He's also, he's intentionally vague. And do you want to play the rest of this clip, or you just want to jump into commentary?
No, I just wanted to point that out because I thought he does that shit a lot. It's like, maybe, possibly, I don't know if you heard yet. Like we don't fucking have access to the news.
Right.
We control the strait 100%.
President Trump there. As for the Iranians, well, Iran says it will not fully reopen Hormuz until Washington meets a series of conditions, including ending the blockade of Iranian ports, lifting sanctions, and
Sorry, bud. Not one.
Fucking
Oh,
what the fuck's with these commercials all the time, man?
that's because I don't pay the money. Let's
Who let
watch
the
it.
dogs out?
It's a
No,
weirdo.
let's not watch it. Let's not watch it. I don't want to watch that.
For dead weeds in just one day.
We're good. Let's just move on from that because that was yeah, I'm not sitting here watching an ad.
from the war. Of course, President Trump not accepting that at all. Remember, he said earlier this week that he was low-keying his negotiations with Iran. Well, now he's responded to that with reparation demands of his own. And in his latest Truth Social post, President Trump said he is demanding compensation from Iran for Americans killed or seriously wounded in attacks and conflicts involving Iran or Iran-backed groups. He said that demand will now be included in future negotiations with Tehran. And then alongside all of this, the Wall Street Journal also reporting that Gulf oil and gas producers are increasingly concluding that Iranian control over Hormuz could become a permanent feature of the region. They don't like this emerging arrangement, which could formalize Iranian oversight of inbound shipping. But Gulf officials told the Journal they see it as a least bad option. The alternative, of course, could be another round of US-Iran military action, which would put the Gulf's own energy infrastructure back in the firing line. So this battle for Hormuz continues.
So there you go. What is going on?
Nothing.
What the fuck?
Nothing.
I want reparations. You get reparations.
Yeah. No, you first. No, you first, right? It's that whole sounds like a bunch of kindergartners playing, fighting on the playground. It's fucking ridiculous.
Tag back, tag this. It's like, and then we've got people trying to jump off of the ship of the Abraham.
Oh, yeah.
The Abraham. Yeah, they all get that little sea fever.
I didn't even get into that, dude. I'm too busy lately. Like I'm literally behind on what's happening. But I'm going to tell you how I feel about this Strait of Hormuz and Iran bullshit. Personally, I think the Islamic regime needs to have their ass handed to them and should have had it done nearly 50 years ago. But Trump's approach isn't working. You're either all in or you're not. And I get he's afraid. Not afraid of Iran, but doesn't want to lose lives, which is why he hasn't gone all in. He's playing this whole little, like, look at this. Oh, jab, haha, now what? And then just backs up, It's like you're either going to go for it or you're not. You're either going to wipe these guys out and really do what you say you're going to do, or you're just going to get the fuck out because at this point, we're no longer being effective. Okay? In the beginning, the plan was kind of working. Now, it's gone on too long, and it's like you're either going to go through with it or you're just going to have to pull out. You're either going to wipe these guys out or you're just going to have to get the fuck out and take our troops back home. That's just the way I see it.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening.
Well, he's also, because of what we've decided to do as a country, all these, at all the administrations involved in it, the whole Ukraine thing, we've given so many weapons to them, so many missiles, so many bullets, so many guns, so much cash that
there's a danger depletion in munitions.
Yeah, we're literally running out of rockets.
I'm gonna be honest though. I got a question where a lot of this information comes from. Like, who's leaking that? Like, I'm sorry, but government secrets just don't get leaked unless it's intentional.
Well, somebody's doing it.
Really believe that we're running out of munitions? Because another theory is maybe they're running out of old munitions. Like they haven't even tapped into the new stuff, the new technologies yet. Maybe they're just trying to go through that. We don't know. I mean, honestly, with this administration, it's hard to tell what the truth really is. Trump's very good at deflecting and diverting people's attention to other things while he's doing something else. He's a good sleight of hand man. I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah.
So I don't buy half the shit that's going on in Iran. And a lot of people that give their assessments on what's going on in Iran, most of them don't know what the fuck they're talking about either. They're dead wrong. And I'm getting tired of hearing the Dave Smiths and the Mehdi Hassans and all these people that have an opinion, and they're always so far off base. The only reason Iran exists right now is because the U.S. hasn't gone all in. I don't care what anybody says. That is the truth. We have the technology and the capability. Iran does not. Iran may have a lot of rockets, but they don't have the capabilities of the U.S. military whatsoever. It's not even comparable. Not even comparable whatsoever. So the reason we're still here is because the U.S. isn't serious. So if we're going to be honest, we're just not serious. We're not. We're trying to bully them into doing something they don't want to do, and they're not going to do it. And they already called Trump on his bluff. They know Trump really doesn't want to go forward and do what really needs to be done. So if that's the case, hey, just fucking call it. And if you're going to call it, pull out of the Middle East altogether and let everybody just fucking fight each other and figure it out. Like, who cares anymore?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of like just done with the whole thing. I know how I feel about, the Islamic regime. I can care two shits about them. Literally don't care. I can give a fuck less if they exist. I wish they would cease to exist. I don't care about them. But right now, we're wasting money, time, and resources, and nothing's getting done.
Well, and then you have Saudi Arabia doing a military defense pact, I think with Pakistan or something.
Yeah, they had like this little Middle Eastern NATO thing going on with Turkey, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia doesn't even have much to offer outside of money. Literally, their side is investments. So they're going to leave it on Pakistan and Turkey to be basically the major forces in terms of the military capabilities.
I just think that shit's kind of interesting. Is that they have the U.S. is there. They have all their bases, roughly 100,000 troops across the region.
Yeah,
defending different areas of the Middle East, and then they're also supplying the only ally we have, which is Israel. It makes sense. I mean, we say Saudi Arabia is an ally, but they're not really an ally if they tell you can't use our airspace.
All Saudi America, Americans. Wow, that was a Freudian slip. Oh,
damn it!
All Saudi Arabia cares about is money. Literally, all they give a shit is like they created this other utopia where people can travel to spend money. Basically, like they really don't care. All they care about is money, and they've turned more or less into a tourist state to gain money. They don't have any other power outside of all the money they have. With the oil and everything else. That's it. That's all they care about. Their relationship with the U.S., it goes as far as you could throw a rock, to be quite honest. And as soon as that money dries up in tourism, and let's say if we pulled our base out of Saudi Arabia, I can't even talk tonight. If we pulled our base out of Saudi Arabia,
Saudi Arabia.
Fucking hell, I am tired, dude. But if we pulled our base out, I guarantee Saudi would fucking say, all right, cool. Now we're friends over here with probably Iran. I don't know. I mean, that's probably not going to happen, but they're definitely going to enlarge this.
If anything, Iraq, right?
Because they're going to enlarge this little Middle Eastern NATO type agreement with other countries for sure. They don't give a fuck about the U.S. Just like Qatar doesn't care about the U.S. You think Qatar cares about the U.S.? Again, it's all about money and relationships. After that,
Qatar's a fucking bank,
money,
dude.
Yeah, after that money's out of there, after U.S. dollars are out of there, after any spending that has to involve Western nations is pulled out, Qatar and Saudi Arabia will turn their back on America big time. That's the only thing holding it together. And so it's interesting to see this little coalition between Turkey, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry, man. I'll go ahead and talk. I'm just going.
No, I was just going to say, I find it kind of, I kind of think, I find that the big tell was the funeral. That should have been it right there. Because the moderator or the mediators or whatever for the debate or the negotiation, they went to the funeral and pledged their loyalty. All the Pakistani guys. The UAE showed up. The Saudi Arabia sent a delegation. Qatar sent a delegation to this funeral for supposedly the Iranian threat that they all agree exists. So it's kind of like when you see that, at that point, you should just leave. Every troop leaves, or you blow up the fields, the islands, whatever it is that would eliminate Iran's economic might.
Right.
And you just walk. I don't understand why you would sit there and why would you watch that and go, yeah, we should keep going. I mean, that right there,
what you said also points to the other simple fact. Regardless of how each of those nations stand and what they want to achieve economically, and although, for example, Saudi Arabia wants to become more modern and moderate, in the end, what binds them all together is the religion of Islam. And look, I know people are tired of me talking, so I'm not going to get deep on it, but I'm just going to say, yes, there's good Muslims and bad Muslims. And the reality is this, though. It's just like if something happened to, let's say, anyone who was mildly or moderately really committed to Catholicism, then all of a sudden you see all the Catholics around the world band together, even if we're different nations with different cultures and ideologies, cultural ideologies. I mean, they would still all band together. So that's what we saw an example of in the Middle East. I mean, they were all of the same faith. So they're just like, oh, hold on, you're attacking my Muslim brothers, my brothers in Islam. Then you saw what happened is exactly what you pointed to. It's like they just got together and supported each other. But
Yeah.
I think how they run their countries are absolutely in opposition. But again, I'm with you, and I'm going to say that again, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the only thing holding that thing together, the only reason we have any relationship between them and the U.S. is because of money, because of the tourism dollars, because of the investments, because of the bases. And if those were gone, this whole little mini NATO attempt that's being done in the Middle East between Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan, it would be much bigger. It absolutely would be much bigger. And I guarantee they would shut the U.S. out or all Western nations in general. And it would be a very, very much a contractual relationship. And the U.S. would no longer be able to bully any of them. So, yeah, I'm with you, Manuel. And I think, like, again, I'm going to say it. We're either all in on Iran or we're out. And at this point, I think it's time to get out. I mean, we're no longer being effective. I think they called Trump's bluff. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He doesn't want to commit our troops to die. Then fucking get out. It's not working. Regroup and just go at it another direction. And maybe at this time, it's not with missiles and rockets. It's through politics and policy, and just enforce that and don't back down on it. It's just kind of where I'm at this point. I'm just tired of talking about. I was like, is this happening or not? That's kind of where I'm at.
We want to. I'm checking the X thing right now because I want to know if it's even working. And it is up. It is working.
All right.
So just want to confirm, as they say.
John agrees with me. See, John's a smart man. John's a smart man. He agrees with me.
That
he agrees with both of us because we're both basically saying the same thing.
That photo's suspect at best. I'm sorry, John. What?
What? John is handsome. Look at that. Looks good. Let him be. Just
that looks
John
like
alone.
A good amount of airbrush. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, it's great. You be careful because John will get you back.
I'm sure he will. I don't give whatever. I don't give a fuck.
He'll get you back.
We're friends now.
Yes. Are you guys gonna do something or no?
I don't know. We spoke in our little groupie thing before at the end of that episode. He said great idea, and there you go. That's all we're at. That's where we're at.
I gave him your email, so just be on the lookout.
Oh, there you go.
John said it is 100% AI. All right. Well, fair enough. You still look good.
I called it.
Whatever, John.
God damn
whatever.
it.
It's good.
No, yeah. Okay, email. Sure.
No, I did.
I got 8,000 emails that I haven't even opened
because you
yet,
never
so.
fucking check them. That's the problem. That's what I deal with. That's the problem.
Anyway, I'm gonna hit this thing again. All right, we're
at grocery games. Yeah.
His plan to build state-owned grocery stores in New York City.
Let me blow this up.
And boy, this is not gonna work. Welcome to American Covered. I'm Chris Chappell. Well, folks, it's finally happening. 7 months after taking office, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani has finally unveiled the details for his plan to build a network of city-owned grocery stores. The first 2 locations are set, one in the Bronx and another in East Harlem. The Bronx store is projected to be open by the end of 2027, and the Harlem location, along with other locations in the other boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island, are slated for 2029. Damn. It really takes the richest city in America 3 years to build less than half a dozen discount grocery stores?
Yes, sir.
This is almost like watching a fucking trailer of Gangs of New York.
Yeah. 3 years.
3 years.
He'll be at the end of his first term before those stores even open.
Yeah. And by then, he'll
be up for re-election going, it's going to happen, I swear.
Well, and that's the thing. It's either going to happen and move forward if he gets reelected, and if he doesn't, that shit's gone. Because the only reason he won't get reelected is people realize the experiment ain't fucking working. I mean, let's just be honest.
It'll be just downhill from there.
Yeah, right? All right. What else does this guy have to say about this?
Oh, he's going to break down the economics because they're already bleeding cash without even opening the door yet.
Oh, of
Keep in mind,
course.
the Empire State Building was built in a little over 13 months. Oh well, baby steps, right? In any case, New Yorkers will be finally getting some much-needed relief when it comes to buying food in a city that routinely ranks the most expensive in the country, is what I'd be saying if the plan made any sense. Now, before we get into the math, I just need to clear something up. The second this plan was announced, critics started comparing it to the Soviet Union's state-owned grocery stores. You know the image, babushkas waiting for hours in the freezing cold, clutching their ration cards in the hope of snagging a loaf of rye bread and maybe a doctor's sausage if they're lucky. Don't laugh, that's actually what they're called. As funny or grim as that image may be, that's not really what's happening in New York. The Soviet Union was a command economy. The government pretty much owned and operated its entire distribution system, top to bottom. Now, these new Mamdani stores are government-owned, sure, but they're privately managed. The city put out a request for proposals, or RFP, for a private grocery store operator to actually run the stores day to day. That means handling the staffing, the merchandising, keeping the place clean, et cetera, et cetera. So if that's the case, where does the government come in? And how are these stores supposed to lower the price of food? Well, first, the city government put aside $70 million for construction. They paid contractors
before this guy. Who the fuck is this dude anyway? Because is this what passes as good content? Like, get the fucking point.
It's just a YouTube news guy just breaking it down. I thought it was pretty entertaining.
So anyway, about that RFP statement here, it doesn't take the responsibility from the city. The city still owns it. Okay, it is absolutely still under the control of the city. And here's how this works, because same thing happens to some of the event centers that I do business with. They're owned by the city, but the city subcontracts a management company. But that management company has to do whatever the city says within its guidelines. And if they go outside of that, they get in trouble, or that contract goes back out to bid. So they're going to still have to do whatever the state of New York, or I'm sorry, the city of New York says, period. So it's not the way he's presenting it is like, oh, New York City kind of owns and operates, but not really. It's going to be this outside agency. No. Everything is done within the parameters and the guidelines of the city. The city is just subcontracting the management so they don't have to put it on their payroll. That's what's going on. It's a subcontract agreement. So, but that guy, that company, whoever they hire, is still going to have to do whatever the city says to meet the city standards on how they want that owned and operated. The other thing that's going on with this, outside of the 70 million put aside that he doesn't have money for and they're bleeding money on, which I'm sure he's going to get to, because the only way he's going to sustain this is if he raises the taxes, which people will willingly do for a bit until they realize the taxes are too high and they're skyrocketing, and they start pushing back by either saying, you got to end this, and they're going to have to force him to change it through the people's vote or their voice, or they're just going to move out of New York City, which many have already done. So there's that issue going on. There's also the other contract, not aside from the management, they also put RFPs out for suppliers. And what's funny is, whatever they're doing with this grocery store, they're trying to make the argument like this is a program for families for, healthy food and whatever, because Mamdani himself said that they're going to ban alcohol, tobacco, sugary snacks, sugary foods, anything which is fucking crazy, because it's the same fucking thing that the Trump administration wanted to do with SNAP. But since Mamdani said it, it's fucking amazing. This is the best program ever. But fucking hell, if SNAP had to fall under the same guidelines, people threw a fit about it. And so some people try to push back by saying, well, SNAP is really managed by the states. The states have a right. Yes, but the federal government can say you have a right to do this based on it being taxpayer funded. And that's what Trump tried to do. He said the federal government will allow you to go ahead and restrict these items for the sake of protecting taxpayer dollars. So Mamdani's going to do this. Same fucking thing. And everyone's happy about it all. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You can't have a voter ID, but now he wants you to have some kind of library cardish ID thing to be able to shop there to make sure you're from New York. Like, what the fuck is that about? So IDs work, but then they don't?
Listen.
It marginalizes people. It doesn't. It's racist, but then now it isn't?
But Jamingo has an idea.
What's that?
But I don't want to show it because I don't want to lose the stream.
Why?
Just read it.
There it is.
Ah, you fucker.
had an idea on the anniversary of 9/11. Have Mamdani and his wife fly a plane into the Freedom Tower. Well,
Ah, there goes that.
Well, I'll take care of it, I guess. Mamdani, anyway. Damn. Go, John. Oh man, but anyway, I mean, you can keep playing this video, but I did a whole thing on it.
Yeah,
I
they
think you
would
already talked about
definitely
it.
chimp out if you take their soda. Yes.
Jeez.
Damn.
I don't know if I can even play that. I don't know if I can show that one, John.
All right. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. You just made it clear that this is not a good presentation of the grocery games.
No. The subject is, but I mean, the reason I'm sorry I jumped ahead is just I already literally did a show on this, and I know you did because I heard some of it. So it's like, I get it.
I know, but the random hasn't. So I thought update on here too. Why not?
Fine, play this fucking loser. Go ahead.
No, you already told them the money come from New York, and then they sub the tax. Blah blah blah. I've already seen this video. I know.
Good. See, this is why we're third rate substring. So, yeah, right. We're subpar, right?
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
I'm sorry. I know my shit. I am sorry. I'm sorry. I should have just let this guy talk. Whatever.
Check my notes.
But do you have anything to add though? Like, I want your side. Do you have anything to add to that?
I already know it's a lose-lose because there's only one grocery store in America that operates run by the city that's doing okay, but that area they pay a lot of taxes to keep it going. But most of this stuff is private. Most of these types of stores are privately owned or dirty or whatever. And we already know the government fucks shit up anyway. They're just notorious for it. So it's like, I know I'm going to lose money.
We got 3 major examples historically of this happening. And they were in Cuba, Argentina, and Venezuela. That shit didn't work out.
I know. But, I know.
Here's what I find interesting. Mamdani won on socialist principles. Well, when it comes to implementing them, he needs capitalist money to make it happen. He needs to do it on the backbone of capitalism to support his socialist ideas, which obviously don't work. I think this thing's going to be very popular in the beginning because people are going to support it. They're going to be, oh, this is great. And then they're going to realize is like, well, why is it taking so long to restock the shelves? Wait a minute. You said it was 30% off on select items every month, 360, all 12 months of the year, right?
So basically, once a month there'll be a sale ad, and that ad everything's gonna be like 30% hack. Like from what I gathered from the last presentation, actually from the video that Mamdani gave the speech on, it was that he said there will be a monthly, like you said, a monthly ad, right? 30% off on select items, but every single month there will be 30% off. Now I'm gonna wonder if we're gonna start to see bananas and beef. Is he gonna sell pork? He didn't say if he's gonna be on pig yet. I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. What? I'm just asking questions here, but I'm just saying. This is what's gonna happen.
Well, hold on. Is it gonna be 30% off that, or is it gonna be 30% off toothpaste, Q-tips, things like that?
What's gonna happen?
I'm just wondering.
This is the shit that happens in my business, in my profession. This shit happens all the time. The store down the street is gonna send a guy. Into the store, he's gonna start writing all the prices down. He's gonna go back to his boss. His boss is gonna look at it and go 30. I'll do 35, and he'll start undercutting the store.
You're not talking about gas station owners.
He's literally gonna, and then,
bro. All he's trying to do is combine Walmart and Costco, because at first it was gonna be a Walmart thing. Like I can understand operating on a slim margin because Walmart does the whole volume versus making money.
If there's
on
a
quality.
Walmart in the area, fuck,
they're dead. You can't compete. They're too big, and that is a capitalist based business. But he's trying to combine that with Costco because now he wants to limit who can go there based on where you live by presenting this ID. Well, isn't that kind of like a membership? I don't know. It's kind of strange how he's trying to run this.
You also know what's going to happen though.
What's that?
Multiple family members are going to have multiple IDs.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
There's going to be 10 family members, 10 IDs, 10 trips, triple, double, and then they're going to show up at the gas station and sell them at cost.
That's exactly what happens, dude, to the other discount stores, right? They're going to go
Yes,
ahead
he's
and
gonna
raid
be
that
so
fucking place.
fucking- He's
He
gonna
thinks
be
he's
like,
going to protect it by
"Why?"
showing an ID. Oh, good. Well, I'll just send my whole fucking family. That's exactly what they're going to do.
He's like, this is not where I come from. This,
I mean, how
these
they even know what's going to
capitalists-
happen? They're going to follow him, and all of a sudden you see him loading a fucking U-Haul full of goods. I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen. It happens all the time out here.
Yeah, these capitalists. What the fuck? This country.
They're going to take advantage of your socialist bleeding heart to go make money on their capitalist business. That's what's going to happen. It's a fucking joke, man. It's a fucking joke. Hey, my favorite, Abdul Al
So imagine
Sayadiga.
instead of paying that to your health insurance company, whose CEO makes $20 million a year, instead you paid a little bit more in taxes for healthcare that you wouldn't lose if you lost your job or turned 26 or got married or got divorced. I think all of us would be a lot more interested in that kind of a system if we knew that our healthcare would be free at the point of care and would be free without having to worry about losing it in general. So there's an opportunity here, I think, to trade what we give to a big corporation who gets to decide who we get to see and who we don't for a little bit more paid into FICA. And I think that's a trade that's worth making.
He says you heard him.
So another socialist candidate that wants to basically back up the policies he wants to implement off of capitalist dollars.
No, he's saying he's just saying instead of giving your premium to the CEO, give it to the government
No, I
in
know
a
what
little
you're
bit
saying.
more.
Yeah,
I know
which is
you heard.
what-
I'm just repeating it because
like extra taxes, right?
yeah,
from people who own
and he said
money in a
people
capitalist
will
system.
Pay more. He said people will pay more.
I mean, right, but on a capitalist system. Because if it was a socialist system, a socialist economy, it wouldn't fucking work.
None of it works.
I'm just
If
saying.
you let the government
And-
choose, you're
Yeah.
going to be sitting forever just to get a cancer diagnosis.
Yes, and yeah, like, okay, I may not have firsthand experience, but I do watch the news, the comments, everything, and people from Canada have said that. People from Europe have said that. Or UK, it's a real thing. It's like, yeah,
It
it's
is.
free, but it's not guaranteed you're going to get seen when you actually need to get seen. So you have to battle that. The government's going to decide like where you fall in the queue and how important it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost, I wouldn't say it's a lottery system because it's not, but it's really not as effective in terms of care. But I will agree this. I'm not agreeing. Okay, fucking hell.
Yes, you will.
The only thing I will say, I'm not gonna fucking agree with that Islamic socialist. What I'm gonna say is this:
Oh, come on.
our health, fuck that dude. Our healthcare, seriously, fuck him. He's a fucking liar. He's a fucking wolves in sheep's clothing. The guy's
Right.
funded by the Muslim Brotherhood. He's fucking funded by CARE. He's funded by multiple families that have ties to fucking, Islamic terrorists. I don't give a shit. This guy's a fucking liar. And everybody hates that I say that, and they call me a fucking alarmist and whatever. You know what? Do your own research, fuckheads. Go look it up. Don't even look it up. Ask questions. Talk to other SMEs. Fucking do your fucking job and be an informed citizen. But outside of that, the one thing I can say is our healthcare does need to be reformed. I mean, there's no way it should cost so much. There's no way a box of bandages costs fucking $1,300, right? Get the fuck out of here. I go to, again, bring to Walmart. I go to Walmart and buy a fucking box for like what, $10, $15? A whole
Yeah, but
box.
These are
I'm
these
talking
are
about a
special
box.
band-aids. These are special band-aids.
Yeah.
They prevent you from dying. So they're worth it.
Sure. Okay. What, did a priest rub his balls on them or something before they went out? Are they already
ambulance
blessed?
ride is worth an ambulance ride is worth all $3,000. It's
I
worth
know.
the drive.
You had to go through that.
I
remember
had
that.
one of
And that
those.
was years ago. What is it now?
Yeah.
$7,000,
Fucking
right?
no
That's what
idea.
I heard. I might be wrong,
I-
but that's what I heard last time.
I know my hospital stay was, was amazing. 2.5 weeks in the hospital was
You get 30
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
for 2 weeks.
Dude, it was the total bill because it was the hospital, the bed, the shower, all the meds,
shower. Was it a fucking special shower?
No, of course not.
God, it
But
sounds
it's
like they
they-
charge
they
you as if
charge-
you're like
they-
staying at the Waldorf Astoria or something. Like what?
All the blood draws, all the needles, all the gauzes, all the
Jeez.
stitches, like everything. I got the whole itemized thing. It came out to like $340,000 for 2
Fuck
weeks.
out of here. Really?
Every time they came in with the cart and the little needle for blood, which was every morning, that was $150 every morning.
Jesus, dude.
a video visit today because of COVID. Everybody doing video now.
Yeah.
It's $400 minimum. It's like,
really? That's what they're charging on the invoice?
Yeah.
Why don't they? I wish they would disclose this shit. Right. And here's why they don't want to give you the cash option, because they know that they have to disclose it. And then they're like, they don't really want that information getting out.
Well, if they go cash, they can't do they can't, like, they have to tell you the actual cost if you ask to pay
Right,
cash.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so then they would be affected by a true free market society, where the society would be like, wait a minute, why are you charging me $400 for 15 minutes? Because they don't want to give you more than that. They want to
Oh, I
pack
know.
as many people in the schedule as they can. That's how doctors make their money. You know,
Yeah,
they get bonuses based on how many people they see. It could be 10, 20, $50, but regardless, multiply that by 10, 100, whatever, and, you know, do the math, that on top of their salaries or whatever they make.
Yeah. But yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So anyway, Abdul Al Sciatica, the guy's fake. He's phony. He's just doing the basic thing every socialist Marxist wants to do. Okay. They appeal to your basic needs. They appeal to the people, not to offend anybody, but let's just be honest. The people who are impoverished, they're not making a lot. It all comes down to that. They can't afford, you know, the expensive healthcare. They can't afford to buy a house. And most of these people, that's why you see most of these university people that get out of university, I mean, like the university students, siding with this movement because they're poor right now. I mean, I don't know how much money I had in my 20s, Manuel. Did you? I mean, fuck, you're just starting your life. And most of these guys didn't even start their career yet. And it takes a bit. So they're easily preying on everybody
listen,
who
by and
doesn't
large,
have any money.
by and large, majority of the people in their 20s are dumber than a bag of rocks. They don't know what to do with the money if they had it.
Well, you just lost none of our audience. What?
I'm just being honest. Okay, I came right out of the gate making almost 60 grand. I was like 21, 22. I knew what to do with my money.
Yeah, but you're an example of two roads. Okay, you can go to college for 5, 7 years, 10 years, and come out starting at 60 grand, which usually what most people start out.
Yeah, and then you
or
just
you
go
could
from
do the
there.
whole. Well, if I actually work in a trade, and I could still make money, and a lot of people don't want to sweat. They don't want to put that money into it. Not the money, but the actual work into it. You know, it's like, and that's where we're at with like the trades versus the higher
whatever the college would be.
higher, big air quotes, higher education, because they don't want to sweat. They don't want to work. You know, you can make money as an electrician, a plumber. I mean, even me, you know, in the AV business, you can make some fucking money. I'm just saying, people do not want to work to that level.
They also pick industries that are not make no fucking sense. Like, if you really want to make serious cash in America, you pick shit that people need: food, healthcare, water, some form of housing, plumbing, because the plumbing in the housing. You know what I mean? Like, things, mechanic to fix the car. Well, now cars are a motherfucker, but back then, you know, it was an option. And what is it today? Influencer, YouTube presenter,
exactly,
TikToker. What else they got out there? Podcaster. You know, and then I just want to throw this out there, you know, for the chat, everybody, whoever's out there, if they want to answer, I want to know. The generations behind us, we're 46, 48, in that range. The generation behind us is whatever that generation is. And then the generation behind that, they're growing up in a world where it is expensive. There is an inflationary cycle. There is economic hardships in some parts of America. They're watching their parents and their grandparents work their ass off to have what they have. And they're looking at it and they're like, yeah, but I'm looking at it, you look beat up, your arm hurts, your back hurts, you're sad all the time, you're crying, whatever it is, right? And then you come home and you try to be my mom and my dad. I'm looking, and we're looking at this and we're like, I don't want that shit. Why would I want that? Why would I want to suffer like that till I'm 65? So then the next logical thing would be to do things that make you happy. There's articles about that shit all the time. but then they choose things
Yeah.
that they're not good at or they didn't practice at, and now they're mad because they didn't make it, because they want to be there like now instead of working towards it. But
There's no such thing as instant success, though.
yeah, but they refuse it because
Refuse to
they
accept
see-
that fact.
yeah, because they see what happened to the people in front of them. And then they notice that the people in front of them, government, whatever, the way they managed everything, there's not going to be a Social Security within the next decade or two. There's not going to be, because, you know, the Democrats don't like privatizing that for some reason. You know, there's a host of issues coming up.
Well, hold on, I'll back you up. If we're being honest, both the Republicans and Democrats fucked that one.
Well, yeah, they're all.
I mean, it
putting
just
their
turned
hand
into a
in the
giant
old-
slush fund.
They're all putting their ass in the cookie jar. We know that.
Yeah,
But
of course they are. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I understand it a little bit when someone like Mondani and Saeed and AOC, like, you know, Bernie is suddenly relevant now because there's this generation is listening. You know,
Fucking
like,
biggest socialist grifter of all time. I hate capitalism, but I like the money.
But I get it though.
Fucking
I
guy
get
got rich off a capitalist system, but hates it. Wants to destroy it, but that's where he made all of his millions. But
I
they're his wife's
100%
name, right? So
get
he
it
doesn't have to
though.
be accountable.
I understand when those guys are coming up going, let the government take care of you. Just pay a little more and let them do
Yeah.
it. Let them feed you. Let them do this. Let them do that. But we have a
That's-
history of that too, because how did you get SNAP? How did you get, you know, like,
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, you are right. And the problem is this has been building for years. This wasn't overnight. And this was the government ignoring what the people wanted and what the people were going through. Neither party came through to really address the real issues. Neither party came through with addressing the fact that it seems like the cost of living always seems to go up, but wages don't. And then there's certain positions that you can get as far as a job is concerned or a career that are favored over others. That's always going to happen. That's always going to happen. I get it. But the average wage has never kept up with cost of living to a degree now that it is much more of a spread than it ever was before. So
but what?
someone who's told a young person, okay, I'm getting back to just basically, I'm supporting what you're saying, but if we go back to a young person who was told their whole life, you and me also, our generation also, when we were coming up, anybody now is like, you're told, if I do this, if I check these boxes, then this happens, right? Then I get this. And they're getting out of college and they're like, what the fuck? They're expecting it, but they're not being properly educated and told, like, no, if you check these boxes, you get the tools to be able to succeed. Nothing's guaranteed, but that's not what's being taught. What's being taught is you're entitled. This will be given to you. This is here for you. Social Security, honestly, with you're correct. You and I have always talked about this. It turned into a scam. I will never, ever, ever, ever get the money I put in back from Social Security. Okay. At the end of my lifetime or at the end of my working career, I will have put in way over $1 million. Will I see that? No.
No,
they're
you'll
gonna
see
cap
like,
me. They'll give me like what, $1,700 a month, maybe?
well,
you know?
I think you'll go maybe in the 2,500 range.
Well, regardless of what I will get, the question being is, will we see what we put into it? We will not. If this was put into, if our money that we're putting into was put into a high interest earning account based on how much that we put in over time, and that compounded interest over time, over a 30-year career, we would all be fucking millionaires or pretty fucking well off. I'll tell you that much. We'll
Yeah.
never see it. We'll never see it.
But why? I guess the question is why. What is this deal with kicking the can down the road all the time? I mean, the minute you saw the curve doing this or whatever, as a Republican or a Democrat in office, you would look at that and go, okay, we need to figure out how to make this sustainable. Because we are getting older. There isn't a whole lot of birth rate going on. We have to figure this out. And all they do is they borrow into the next year and they kick the can down the road.
Right. Well,
To the point where we're, I don't know, whatever the number is, trillion something dollars in the hole in this particular area. And you're just kind of like, what happened? Like, why?
I think
Bernie should be jumping all over this shit.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
I
Like,
think some of the reason for that, Manuel, is this. It doesn't affect them.
yeah,
It doesn't
'cause
affect
they're
them.
already.
You,
Yeah,
if you serve in Congress for a certain amount of time, you get a lifetime pension, whatever that is based on your service. You don't even have to be in Congress for 30 years like a normal job to get lifetime medical. There are no
True.
restrictions on how many terms you can serve in Congress. And so if you're in the right district where you're rarely challenged, like AOC, she could be in Congress like Nancy Pelosi. She'll be in there until she's 80 something fucking years old, getting a salary, making connections, already reaching retirement age, well before her time of, I mean, she's gonna be there, like she's gonna be the fucking vampire of the Democrats. Watch. She's
talking
gonna
about
be able.
Nancy?
Yeah. Well, look,
Nancy's done.
no, I said AOC. She's gonna be like her.
AOC, yeah. Well,
And
she is
so,
praising her
I'm telling
age,
you, it's gonna happen. And so here's the perfect example of that. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She did just enough time to get a pension. She
Yes,
did
and then she
just
bowed
enough
out.
time to get the medical.
Yeah.
And then what'd she
The
do?
thing is, I think it's
She fucking
one.
backed out. And then suddenly she's trying to do this third party thing with fucking Tucker fucking Qatar. Like, what the dude, I don't even know what's going on with that shit. And so the reason, sorry, getting back to Social Security, the reason they don't care, Manuel, the reason they don't care is because it's not affecting them, because they already
Right.
have parachutes. They already are taken care of. While the average person has to keep feeding into this fucking piggy bank, and they'll always deny, oh, we never use it. Well, that is bullshit. Why is this long-standing account of Social Security that every American has always put in over the years has never gained any interest for the people who have invested into it, that being the American worker? Why? Why is it that my $1 million I put in never fucking ever earns interest, and I don't see the benefit of that?
Because I don't think they put it in a bank account. I don't think it goes
They do.
into.
I guarantee they do. That is how they're going to keep this fund going. And the only reason this fucking fund's insolvent is, well, they're not the only reason. There's a couple of reasons. Okay. Some people get Social Security and qualify for certain benefits under Social Security that shouldn't get them out of damn outright fraud.
Yeah.
Okay.
And disability comes off of that too. Social Security.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't
Yes,
it?
it
Yeah,
does.
it does.
And two, wait. Yeah, it does. I think so. Someone's got to correct us. I think you're right on that though. And the other problem is they absolutely use this as a slush fund, and they hide it, and they try to go, well, we'll take a few 100,000 or $1 million or whatever, and we'll just put it back before they notice. But they can't keep up with it. They can't keep up with it
Because
that's what's going to make it insolvent.
they keep pulling from it. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're paying for the sexual assault fund that the congressmen have.
Of course. I mean, we probably don't have proof on that, but I mean, that's another thing we talk about. Really, Congress.
I made the claim. Fuck, I don't
They
know.
have an No, they do. They have an actual fund to just hire lawyers and pay off people when it comes to sexual harassment claims or sexual abuse claims.
Yep.
Like Congress
They
members.
do.
What the fuck, man?
Yes, they do. And it's one of the things that they weren't, that the I forgot when that vote was. They were actually voting to modify it, and everybody voted no.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, this isn't a good look. Fuck that. We're keeping it.
Well, if you voted no, it kind of put the target. I mean, right?
Seriously, man.
Yeah. All right. Last thing that we're gonna do is gonna be a long one, because we are going to definitely try to get through all 7 minutes of this.
All right.
So, the Daily Wire put out a movie trailer. Run, Hide, Fight, Infidels. I'm sure you've seen it. We're not going to, So, what happened was Mehdi Hasan called it a phobia and a whole bunch of other things. And Ben Shapiro said some shit.
On that.
Dude, Ben Shapiro said some shit in response. And this video we're going to play is the Mehdi Hasan 7-minute response to that response. And we're gonna pause and play as we get upset. And I also have some notes of rebuttal. I'm gonna pull that up over here. There we go. Let's have some fun. Please try to have some fun. Here we go. Oh, there we go.
After more than 10 years of ignoring little old me, Ben Shapiro finally devoted an entire 13-minute video to responding to a tweet of mine. See, the co-founder and editor emeritus of the now struggling Daily Wire got triggered by a tweet from me calling the Daily Wire's new action movie, Run, Hide, Fight Infidels, bigoted, Islamophobic, and cliched. I mean, just look at the trailer about an ISIS attack on a US college campus, which begins with references to Allah, moves on to images of Muslims on prayer mats, and ends with the literal Islamic call to prayer. How many lazy, sweeping Islamophobic tropes can you squeeze into a single 2-minute trailer? But Shapiro got very defensive in a video that he posted to YouTube on Friday about me and his movie.
Mehdi Hasan did what you would expect.
Hold on. I see you going banana. What's up?
Dude, I can't even get that far through this fucking guy's bullshit.
Jesus, it's only 45 seconds.
Mehdi Hasan is like, I always call this fucking prick out. And when I comment on his shit on X, he literally blocks me from commenting on other stuff for a while until he forgets that he did that, and then I can comment again. He's a fucking idiot. Okay. The problem I have with his comments already is the film is literally called Run, Fight Infidels. What's the premise of the film? A takeover of a university or college by an ISIS group, not all Muslims or Islamists, ISIS. And Mehdi here is defending ISIS because it depicts ISIS, who is an extreme fundamentalist Islamic group who chooses to use terror to get what they want. That doesn't fucking equate, Mehdi. It's not an attack on Muslims. It was a scenario that could very well happen that has happened in other countries. ISIS taking over a town, city, whatever. So is Mehdi defending ISIS here? That's the question. Because that's what it kind of seems like. It seems like he's offended by the Daily Wire making a movie about a scenario involving ISIS, a known terrorist group, taking over a university.
Well, you'll see it in this video. He does hone in on a section of the Jonathan Majors portion.
Of course he does. But he's also going to cry racism and all this other shit.
But the portion of the trailer he hones in on, Jonathan Majors uses the term Muslims. So then he goes on a whole thing to support. So it's you'll get. I'm
whatever. He's still defending He's literally said it.
Yeah. All right.
Did he not say it?
No, he did.
Was he not offended by the fact the movie involved ISIS taking over a university? You can replay it.
No, I'm not replaying shit.
All right, let's keep going with Ben Shapiro.
No, he said it. I'm just saying that he does hone in on the part of the trailer where Muslims do whatever.
John, you're correct. Can we put Mehdi Hasan on the plane with Mandami on his wife to 9/11? I'll buy the ticket. Jeez.
we'll all pitch in, I guess, right?
Here, hold on.
Nancy
Mace brought that up a few months ago. Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's just keep going with Ben.
Mm-hmm. Brought what up a few months ago?
Let's go with Ben.
Report from Al Jazeera and a spokesperson for Qatar. It is difficult to come up with a more bigoted, Islamophobic, and cliched trailer than this one. Okay, so I have a question. Why is it Islamophobic to point out what ISIS actually does and says? It turns out that he's going to have to explain to me how an Islamic terror group that is literally doing everything that is done in the movie, is done by Islamic terror groups all over the world. Why is depicting those people on screen Islamophobic? He's going to explain how that actually implicates all of Islam. Does it? I mean, if it does, then maybe Mehdi should explain. Why is it Islamophobic to literally just quote ISIS doing ISIS things?
Happy to explain, Ben. Because, you gaslighter, the trailer that you just showed your viewers moments earlier doesn't just quote ISIS doing ISIS things. It shows the main character, the hero, the ex-American Special Forces soldier, played by Jonathan Majors, the actor who incidentally was convicted of assaulting and harassing his former girlfriend. It shows him saying, this is about Islam.
Those charges did not. Anyway, gaslighting. I mean, I'm just saying.
Not ISIS, Islam.
There are 3 ways Islam will conquer the West. Through immigration, through the wombs of our women, and by using our nation's freedoms against us.
That isn't Islamophobic. Islam will conquer.
Go ahead, sir.
I mean, that's in their doctrine. Their own fucking clerics say that. I've got clips from my own podcast of fucking Muslim leaders saying that very same thing. And I know it's a blanket statement. I get it, Mehdi. I'm sorry. It's a blanket statement. But I know he's going to cry racism at some point. I'm just waiting for it. I'm just waiting for it. Because that's the other thing I have issue with Mehdi Hasan when he tries to talk about all of this shit. Give me the fucking camera over here. Put it back. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this to everybody. Here, I'm going to switch real quick, man. Look at me when I say this. Fucking get this through your skulls. I don't care who you are. Muslim is not a race of fucking people. You cannot be racist against a Muslim. A Muslim is a worshiper and practitioner of fucking Islam, an ideology. So to criticize a religion and criticizing a Muslim is not racist. In fact, the largest Muslim population is in fucking Indonesia. They're not Middle Eastern. Hate to break it to you, but anyone could be a Muslim. We have white people who convert to Islam. And by all means, by definition, they are a fucking Muslim. It's the same thing as trying to call Christians a race. It's like if you criticize the Christian religion, then I can say you're fucking racist. But we know that we have Africans that are Christians. We have Assyrians that are Christians. We have white people from different areas and cultures. It's the same thing as saying Catholics are a race or Satanists are a race. Like, it's not a fucking statement that is true, Mehdi. It's just not. You're a dumb fuck, period. You're gaslighting and you're twisting and conflating facts to try to win your argument. And your argument is fucking moot from the start, dude. You are not making your point. And we do not have to accept an ideology that is not compatible with another culture. It doesn't mean we have to hate them or kill them, but we don't have to let them into our fucking country either. Just like they look down on me if I went over there and said, hey, I want to build a bunch of fucking, Christian churches right now and I want to, go out and evangelize on the streets and convert everybody into Christians.
Dude,
how
you'd
far
be
do you think I'll get?
stoned and beaten.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too far. You don't have an argument.
You wouldn't even get down the block.
Mehdi doesn't have a real argument. He doesn't have a real argument. He's a fucking idiot. He really is. He always comes across as educated. I've been doing this for too long. And blah. Shut the fuck up, dude. You're wrong, period. He's wrong. He's wrong. And I can't believe people buy his bullshit and he has as many followers as he does because he is wrong. All right, go ahead and play more of the fucking video.
You're right, John. You're right, John. He is upset about this movie.
Yeah. I mean, very much.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The West by taking advantage of American women. Shapiro totally ignores that line from Majors, even though I pointed it out to him in a subsequent quote tweet that has since been seen by over 1 million people, but conveniently overlooked by.
I'm not some college student you can try to gaslight. The trailer portrays Islam, not ISIS, as a threat. The character literally says Islam will conquer the West. That's a true quote though from the old book.
Yeah,
their own guideline, right?
Well, not from the Quran itself, but it's a principle that has been adopted by their leaders and their clerics. Okay, and they do have a convert or kill doctrine. Absolutely, they do want to convert everyone to Islam. And here's the thing I have an issue with. I don't want to hate the religion, even though I think it's a fake fucking religion made up by a false prophet. That's beside the point. You have a right to worship a fucking rock if you want, but you don't have a right to tell me that I should die because I don't worship your fucking rock. Okay? There are hardline Islamists out there, or Muslims, that are, I mean, if we're going to make the comparison, you want to talk about calling someone like me far right? There is no one more far right than a fundamentalist Islamist. Okay? There is no one more far right by definition because they are so conservative, so hardline that they will not accept anything outside of the literal interpretation of their Quran, which is convert or die. Okay, which is to spread Islam across the entire globe. Now, when I was talking about Indonesia earlier, Islam was introduced. God, when was it? Fuck, it doesn't matter. But Islam was introduced to Indonesia but it was introduced by merchants, not by hardliners, by merchants and traders who didn't have the hardline view. And somehow in Indonesia, they took on Islam, but also kept the other principles and ideologies of their culture and kind of intertwined it. So there was a big difference between Muslims, in other areas versus hardline Muslims or theocratic authoritarian Islamic leaders like you see in Iran, for example. So yeah, we're not trying to make a blanket statement. I'm not trying to, but you don't have a right to tell the rest of the world what they need to do, or that we need to bend to your will because you're one of those hardline Muslims. Like, who gives a shit, dude? You do you, I do me. That's it. That's all it is. We shouldn't even be having this argument. We really shouldn't. We shouldn't even have to be talking about this shit. I mean, how many Christians are getting together and going, okay, everybody, get on the fucking boat. We're converting Iran right now. Right fucking now. Do you see 1 million fucking Christians going in and trying to infiltrate Iran right now to turn it around? Fuck no. Not happening. You see that happening in Saudi Arabia? Fuck no. Because they're smart enough to realize it's not going to fucking work. It's only working here because we're dumb. We're too sympathetic and empathetic and inclusive.
You got a single. I didn't think you were going to. Wow. Okay. Let's get back to it.
Whatever.
Shapiro in his 13-minute video. By the way, can you imagine how mad Ben Shapiro would be if someone in public life argued that Judaism or Jews are trying to conquer the West? The truth is that the way Shapiro
every day, bitch.
talk about Islam is the exact same way Nick Fuentes and his neo-Nazi groupers talk about Judaism. It is. Also, he keeps wondering why he's accused of Islamophobia, and yet literally the day before he posted his video responding to me, Shapiro posted another YouTube video titled, "Are you prepared for the Islamic invasion?" No mention of ISIS or terrorists, just an Islamic invasion. Again, can you imagine how mad Shapiro would have gotten if somebody on the left had put out a video referring to a Jewish invasion? Liking this video? And don't.
Is that hypocritical? Because that's exactly what Mehdi does every fucking day on his social media. Every post is fuck the Jews and Islam's okay.
Basically.
Literally. Yeah. Every post, every argument, every time he's on Piers Morgan, it's the same shit. It's fuck the Jews and Islam is the greatest religion ever. It's the religion of peace. Oh, no. There's terrorists. No, we're not talking about terrorists. Do you denounce them? That's not the point. The point is fucking say it, dude. Do you support or not? And that's the other problem. How many of these Muslims, the ones that are similar to Mehdi Hasan, actually come out and denounce the terrorism? Very little. You know who has? Indonesia. They actually have law enforcement that goes out. And in fact, they had 3 terrorist groups in Indonesia. And guess how that happened? Those people went to the Middle East, got indoctrinated, came back and tried to start a terrorist group. What did the Indonesian government do? They said, fuck that. They said, this ain't happening. They sent the police forces out. They broke it up. And all 3 of them became very ineffective in Indonesia. They can't do shit because the government is all over them. That is the Islam we want to see. Not this shit that Mehdi's peddling.
We'd like to thank the audience that is on X right now. Pretty decent audience. Thank you guys for being on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, sorry, man. This guy's pissing me off. I know I'm going off the rails. This shit has to be said, dude.
I knew you were going to grab a couple of soapboxes, but I didn't know it was going to keep going. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's hard not to. I've done so much on Middle Eastern relations, geopolitics in the Middle East. I've done so much on the history of Islam. Like, I'm not a fucking stupid person. I've done the history, the research. I've read. I've talked to SMEs. I've talked to many authors. I've talked to journalists, even resistance leaders against Iran. Like, I have literally talked to everybody from military to intelligence. And I'm telling you, there is a measured, repeated pattern of historic behavior out of certain groups that are Islamic in the Middle East. And no matter what this fucking guy says, going back to the 7th century, tell me why it was that the Ottoman Empire, under the Muslim Crusades, I mean, whatever, why did they have to take Constantinople and turn it into Turkey? Why do they have to zero in on one of the last bastions of Christianity in that area that was considered a pillar of Christianity in terms of what it represented? Why did they have to go repeatedly attack it until it fell? Why?
Because they wanted it.
Exactly. There was no reason to go out and conquer other nations around them under the banner of their religion.
Right.
A Muslim, again, is a practitioner of Islam. So in the U.S., when we're talking about candidates like al-Sayed, okay, when we're talking about him, when we're talking about many of these other people, even like Mamdani, electing a Muslim is electing somebody who is trying to govern based on religion, because everything they talk about is based around their fucking religion. I have clips. I know we don't have it on the show, so sorry anybody who's watching. I can't just pull them up right now. But I have clips of al-Sayed really literally saying these things, that all of his political decisions will be based on his faith. What do you think CAR exists for? To literally change policy and put laws into place to do what? To make it easier for people who practice Islam. Everything is based around their faith. It would be different if these people literally practiced Islam and that's their religion, but literally talk about actual things that affect all Americans. Now, al-Sayed is doing that now after people started calling him out. All of a sudden, he's doing these gay dancing videos and all this other bullshit. All of a sudden, like he cares. Hey, it's cool. No, motherfucker. We already clocked you. We already know where your donors, where your money came from. The guy is full of shit. And so that's why we get concerned. I don't really care if you're a Muslim. It's your intentions behind why you're trying to run for office. That is the issue we have. You know, I have the leader of CAR. I have a clip from him where he literally said they don't have a 100-year plan. They have a 20-year plan. And within 20, he said maybe even 50 years, they want to increase the amount of mosques in the U.S. to 4,000. Their intent is to send people with those 4,000 mosques, collecting money to make scholarships to send people to get educated in journalism, filmmaking, politics. Okay, I'm going to break it down. Why? They want to learn U.S. politics so they can get people in office to do what? Affect change, implement policies and bills and laws that are easier for Islamists. They want filmmaking for what? So they can make the fucking propaganda, and they want to get people into journalism so they can control the fucking narrative. They have literally said this, but every time we say this, we're called Islamophobic, we're called racist, and we're called bigots. No, we're just calling these individuals out for what they're saying they're going to fucking do. They're saying it. I'm not making it up. It's not AI. This is them.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I get pissed off about this shit.
I can
And
tell.
I get tired of talking about it, but
we got
fucking right there.
let's
Shapiro, the man the New York Times once praised as the cool kids philosopher, just could not stop lying and gaslighting during the Friday video.
And then he says, also, Hollywood has refused to tell the story of radical Islam. Is Shapiro insane or just gaslighting? Muslims have been the main villains in Hollywood for decades, even predating 9/11. That's just horseshit. It's not true. I mean, seriously. You could probably count on one hand the number of movies,
okay, here we go.
major movies, where Muslims are the villains. And in fact, Hollywood routinely changed Muslims from being the villains of films, like over and over.
On one hand, Ben? One hand? Really? Okay, let's try. Delta Force, Iron Eagle, Navy SEALs, Not Without My Daughter, True Lies.
Hold on. Not Without My Daughter. I remember that when that came out. That was literally about a woman who was married to a Pakistani man who decided to move back to Pakistan with his wife. And then once he was there, he took the fucking daughter away from her and she had no way to get her daughter back. It wasn't about all Islamist dumb shit. That was a different thing.
Okay. True Lies is an Islamic film?
No, it was not. There was like a couple of guys that might have been Muslim, but it wasn't centered around a fucking Islamic plot, dude. Sorry.
I see executive decision. That got nothing to do with no Islamic plot.
No, it does not. The guy's such an idiot.
Navy SEAls? Charlie Sheen?
Yeah. You just pulled this shit out of the air? You know who historically has been the villain in most American films over the years and still to this day are portrayed as villains? Hold on. You guys want to know? Russians.
I thought it was usually the Russians or the...
It's been the Russians or the Chinese. Those are the two villains all the time. I'm not saying it's not in film. He's right. It is in film. There are some films that portray Muslims as the villain, but they're portraying what? Hold on. Can you say it? Terrorist groups like ISIS. Yeah. The group that you refuse to deny. The group that you refuse to hold to account. Why? Because they're Muslims? They're fucking terrorists, dude.
I don't
Is
remember
anyone making
Chuck
a movie
Norris.
about Mehdi Hasan and portraying him as a villain? No.
Is Chuck Norris? He fought some Muslims too.
I don't remember that in that movie. I don't know. I think this fucking dude's reaching. But Manuel, the films that did portray Muslims as the enemy were what? Terrorist fucking organizations. It wasn't the average person on the street who happened to be a Muslim who owned a grocery store in the community and was like serving the community. Their kids went to school, played soccer, all that. The movie wasn't about that guy. It was about the terrorist group wanted to fucking overthrow America. That was a theme. This fucking dude.
Oh.
Anyway,
John might be right. True Lies was a
yeah,
at least
a Muslim, a Muslim, not a Muslim group.
Okay. Well, he has some more okay, so check this out.
Executive decision, the siege, rules of engagement, the covenant, American.
The siege.
Just
yes,
let's let it go. We know he's full of shit. Just let it go. Let's let it go.
Assassin. I could keep going onto multiple hands. In fact, when film historian Jack Shaheen examined over 1,000 Hollywood movies released over the course of 100 years and before 9/11, featuring Muslim or Arab characters, 936 of them, 936 had negative depictions of Muslims or Arabs.
Does he not know how many movies are made?
I don't know.
That's a relatively low number.
That is a low number compared to the history of movie making.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to go back to portraying terrorist groups, not all Muslims, because in those same films, Mehdi fuckhead, in those same films, there's usually a Muslim person who literally helps out to fight against those fucking people. So what's the point? What point are you trying to make? You support terrorists? Is that what he's saying? Like we shouldn't talk about terrorists? Doesn't make any sense. This guy is so full of shit. He's trying so hard to make this point. And I'm sorry, but he's literally going to appeal to the low IQ idiots who don't know any better.
According to
every one of those films, there is always another Muslim who helps out to fight against the terrorists.
Okay, according to IMDb, there are 10,000 movies made a year.
Right.
10,000, and he's saying 936 of them are negative Muslims. There's actually 3 military films on Netflix right now that have to deal with UAE troops fighting an ISIS terror cell.
Right.
So it's not all American films out there, dude. Like, you gotta gaslighting, he says. Okay.
Gaslighting from the gaslighter in chief.
Fucking dork.
All right, let's I'm sorry, I keep stopping this. Let's get through it.
Okay.
Oh, and don't even get me started on TV shows with Muslim villains like 24, which Shapiro just dismisses out of hand, even though 4 out of 9 seasons of 24 featured Muslim terrorist villains. And of course, there's also Homeland, Tyrant, Sleeper Cell, Threat Matrix, The Unit, Jack Ryan, The Terminal List, Dark Wolf. Again, I could keep going, and Shapiro knows it. But facts aren't history.
I'm sorry, I saw Dark Wolf. They ain't got nothing to do with Muslim terrorists.
I'm telling you, man. I would love to debate this guy.
It's set in the Middle East, yes, but it's got nothing to do with terrorism with the Muslim. It has to do with the troops, the actual unit, and how they respond to PTSD and all those other things. It's got nothing to do with.
All right, I'm gonna read a statistic here that any fucking person could look up right now. Okay, give me a second. I'm trying to scroll through my responses here. Okay, so this comes from I don't know if anybody knows on X. We have a few X watchers right now. So this actually comes from the Muslim Cowboy, who claimed that Christians kill people in terrorist attacks over 65% of the time in the U.S. That's right, 65% of the time within the U.S. yearly. And he says that Muslims their attacks are less than 1%. So this is what I said, and I did a simple Google search. I said, I really want to see the data on this. So if you have a source, please provide it. Here's the results of a simple Google search regarding deaths by Christian terrorists in the USA. And it goes to state, low annual frequency. On average, fatalities explicitly linked to Christian extremist-driven groups like the Army of God or radicalized Christian identity sects average fewer than 1 to 2 deaths per year.
There you go.
What the fuck are we talking about, Mehdi?
All right, Mehdi. We got about a minute and a half of Mehdi.
All right.
It's almost over, kids.
It's almost over, guys. Just hang in there. We're getting there. Big finish.
It's almost over.
You get to watch me drink more of this beer.
George's mental state is it's almost over.
You can fuck. Who said that? You can
At
throw
one point, he just reads out a list of terrorist attacks from Islamists over the past decade and a half to try and make his point that the terrorist threat is Muslim, is Islamist, is ISIS, ignoring the actual data from groups like the ADL, a Jewish-led pro-Israel organization, and the University of Maryland's Terrorism Studies Center, and the New America Foundation, which show that since the Daily Wire was founded in 2015, the vast majority of terrorist attacks or attempted attacks in the US have come from right-wingers, not left-wingers, and not Islamists.
I just read the stat.
What was it Ben Shapiro used to say?
I just read the stat.
Okay, all right.
Where's this guy
All right.
get his information?
All right.
If he wants to
All
talk about
right.
terrorists in the U.S., can we go back? I mean, when did I do this show? I forgot that episode. Can we go back to the Customs and Border Patrol data that I pulled up that said that they literally, these are just the ones they apprehended. They apprehended enough fucking Muslim terrorists, by the way, to put 80 fucking terrorists in every state of the United States, and that doesn't even count the people they didn't fucking catch. These are the people they actually just apprehended. I'm sorry, Mehdi. There's a pattern again of historical fucking behavior that you can't fucking ignore, you idiot. If you don't want the label, stop being a fucking terrorist. That's all there is to it.
Okay, so this is what I did because I thought I won't refer to the studies he mentioned. I thought I'd go somewhere else. So I went to the French because it's not the Jews or anything like that. This is from the
It's not
Fondapool. It's called fondapool.org, and it's all. I couldn't say that French thing if I wanted to, but
you got it on screen?
No. Maybe, well,
if you can't do it, it's fine. Just go ahead and read it.
well, I'd have to switch the whole thing. But here's what I'll do. I'll shut up Mehdi, and then I'll slide it over. And that way we can all stare at it together. We don't need Mehdi today.
I just want everybody to know the reason I can't throw my stats up is because Manuel is actually producing the show from his end. And if I do it, it kind of will screw everything up. So that's the only reason. But outside of that, if anybody's interested in what I have to say and you think that I'm not backing up, I'll be happy to fucking show you the data.
All righty, here we go. Fondapool.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Whatever.
Let's read the
All
stats.
right, I'm only going to go through this part right here. Go through the first 10. Because he said, since the Daily Wire was founded, less and blah, blah, blah. But we're going to go global because it's much more fun.
Sure.
So since 1979 to 2024, there were 66,872 Islamic attacks worldwide, causing 250,000 deaths, roughly. Most of it 84% of it between 2013 to 2024.
Right.
An average of 3.7 people have died per Islamic attack. Firearms were the most used, about 26,000, 25,000 by explosives. Knives and machetes were about 2,500, and explosive devices were about 1,200. And as far as South America, North America, it's about 1.3%. So he is right in that sense. And that's the only reason is because of the migration that hasn't happened yet. And to where we are today.
It says North America, it says 0.1% of attacks.
1.3% of it is death.
Right. The 0.1%.
Yes. And of course, if you go to sub-Saharan Africa, 30% of the 35% attacks are death. And then you go, it's about 30 for Asia, Middle East, all that good stuff.
But his claim, even based on the stat, that more deaths are carried out or attributed to Christian terrorist nations in the United States is absolutely wrong. And regardless of what the stat says, it's still clear and true that more deaths are attributed to Islamic-leaning terrorist attacks in the U.S. than Christian terrorist groups, which, by the way, there's like maybe 2 that are recognized. Like, seriously?
Just based off of this right here, it tells you.
And we can't even get started about Africa, where in Nigeria, they're just slaughtering Christians every fucking day. You know, and it's now the new home of Al-Qaeda as far as their base of operations. ISIS is over there, and they're both fighting for power within Africa in certain areas. It's like the gaslighting is real, man. And by the way, these stats you got
alone, though.
Yeah, but these stats you got, it's actually estimated that Islamic terrorist attacks, it was higher. It was actually close to 80,000. But regardless,
this stops in 2024. Okay. I don't have 25 or half of 26, but just to know that
a lot of this goes by how they measure who is considered an Islamic terrorist organization as well. So,
Brad, but again, even the French have experienced the most in Europe with 334 deaths since 1979. Right. 294 of them within that 10-year period of 13 to 24, 53 attacks. That's insane. And of course, Afghanistan is the most affected overall, 17,000, Somalia, 10,000, Iraq, 8,000, Nigeria, 3,000, Syria, Pakistan, 3,000, Mali, Israel, 1,700, Yemen, 16, Algeria, Egypt, Cameroon. So of the 13 countries, 218,000 deaths were caused by Islamic terror, representing 87% of the total number worldwide, just off of this study. So the United States and Russia have also been hit by jihadist terrorism during the same period of 60 attacks, resulting in 60 attacks in the United States, resulting in 3,121 deaths, 86 in Russia at almost 1,000 deaths. So the overall point of what I'm getting at is he is saying that he's constantly trying to say, or gaslight, if you will, that Islam is good. Islam is not bad. But yet, if you pull up the data as he says, because how he's saying that there's not enough of it going on in America, basically. This track record here is why Americans are uneasy, why they're scared, why they have the feelings that they have, and why they're posting the shit that they're posting. Because there is a track record from 79 to 2024 of over almost 70,000 attacks and almost 250,000 deaths, all in the name of Islam. Just that alone, of course, we're going to be apprehensive. Of course, we're going to feel the way we feel. Of course, we're going to talk the shit that we're going to talk. And of course, say it's incompatible. It's right there. The French fucking pulled this out.
Yeah, and that doesn't even include the data of
none of that shit.
And that doesn't even include the Iranian citizens themselves who were killed by the Islamic regime just recently. The nearly 30,000.
No, this stops in 2024. If you add the
right,
last year,
it's not counting all the Christians that have been slaughtered since then in Nigeria, for example, or throughout Africa.
So, Mehdi, forgive us for fucking feeling the way we feel when we see this shit. And he is doing absolutely nothing to ease our minds. He's just calling everybody a bigoted, racist, Islamophobic, whatever. And it's like, dude, what did I just see from this French study? You're going to tell me this is an incorrect study?
Of course he is.
Of course, I'm sure. Go ahead. You can look at it, and then you can tell me what's wrong with it. Just as I can look at the ADL and all this other shit he's talking about, I can say the same thing. I'm just saying, like, Mehdi, all of them. I'm going to say all of them that have been talking. You're not doing yourself any favors by acting the way that you're acting and then turn around and tell me all is good. I'm just saying. Anyway, anything else?
You know, I was gonna look up another stat I'm trying to find because I actually wrote an article on it, which most people don't know I do that from time to time.
He actually types.
And yeah, once in a while I do write stuff when I have the time. I don't know if I can find it. I don't want to hold people up if they got to go, but it had completely to do with the stats of the Christian slaughter going on in Africa. And I'm trying to find it because I think it's very relevant and important to what we're talking about. And god dang, dude, here we go. Christian persecution. This was done. I wrote this last year.
Well, last year.
Well, you know, hey. So let me see if I can find those numbers here. Pew Research study. Okay. So let me pull this up. And I wish I could put this on the screen, but I can't. So let me see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for doing this. I always criticize people who do this on their live streams, and here I am doing it.
Go down.
I know, I'm going down, upside,
no,
whatever.
No, up,
okay.
Up. No, it's the other thing.
Let me read this. A Christian watchdog that monitors Christian persecution and harassment worldwide as of 2024, there have been 4,474 Christians murdered. 7,679 Christian churches and properties have been attacked, and 4,744 Christians have been imprisoned. According to a report by the European Parliament, 7,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria alone just in the year of 2025, with another 7,800 victims reportedly kidnapped. So again, we have a historical, measurable, repeated behavioral pattern that Mehdi Hasan wants to choose to ignore. And if you want to change the narrative, you want people to like you, Mehdi, and love Islam, then you need to start condemning these terrorist organizations that hunt Christians and do nothing more than stir up shit and kill people, because all they're really doing is using your religion you love as a means to manipulate people who are easily fucking molded. Their minds are so malleable. They're indoctrinating these individuals to go out and carry out terrorist acts and die for the cause, while the leaders sit up top, make all the money, gain the power. It's just a tool used to manipulate others to carry out the heinous acts that the leaders themselves would not fucking do. And so we got to ask the question, why does Islam itself create and churn out more terrorist organizations than any fucking other religion in the world? Why? You can't answer that, Mehdi, because you fucking don't want to reveal the truth. It is a fucking religion of conquest and subjugation, and that's fucking it. And if you don't want to live in the modern world and realize you need to evolve and you can't be a hardliner and live by the literal interpretations of the Quran, just like any Christian does, by the way, because if a Christian lived by that metric, we would be stoning people and cutting their fucking hands off, but we don't. Because guess what? Humans evolve, but apparently Islamists don't. Sorry. That's just what it is. And I would love it to be not that. I would love to not say that. But I'm sorry, dude. If a group is repeatedly trying to kill, maim, torture, and take over the world, then maybe we don't need to fucking deal with that specific group. Maybe Mehdi's the exception. Maybe he truly is. That's fine. Good for you, buddy. You know,
but then
spread the word and have more people like you.
It, then.
I know.
Stop defending it.
Agreed. I didn't think we were going to be talking about Muslims and Islam, but all right.
Well, what's happening over the last 3 episodes, this has been a very relevant topic because of the elections and the way these people have been talking and X, Y, and Z. So I thought, let's do another one of these. Let's dive in and let's get our frustrations out. Anyhow, hopefully we all enjoyed it. Thank you to those who are on the YouTubes, the Rumbles, the X's, the Kicks, the Apples, and the Spotifys.
And honestly, if you're a first-time watcher of this, we're sorry. We went pretty hard. Usually we have a lot more
if you're a first-time, no apologies. You're a first-time listener. You're a first-time listener, first-time viewer, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
By all means, subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, and we'll see you on the next one.
Pretty much. Laters.